Howlers. It's Sako Tumi, also known as Boy, and today is Camp Nano, and also in the United States, it is July 4th. All right, so it is Independence Day in the USA right now. Which means there are all kinds of fireworks going off in the neighborhoods and also, in important areas where people are congregating.
Which is why I'm in my bedroom right now.
And I'm in my kitchen. Exactly.
At this time of day, I am almost always at the park because it's hot as balls where I am. And so it's a good time to go to the park because it's still 80 degrees outside, but the sun's not up. And not right now. I'm not going anywhere right now.
No, I might step out for a cigarette at some juncture. However, I'm
not leaving
the Yeah, I feel for my armed veterans and stuff like that. So those with PTSD.
What I was saying about the cat. So I've got a sick cat behind me and he's not doing well with the fireworks, but also he's really clingy, especially when he's sick. So he won't go downstairs. Most 4th of July's, my roommate is here and he does have PTSD. So he does stay downstairs, and that normally works out really well because then there is somebody down there for the cat. They comfort each other.
Amelia Faye is here. She doesn't know how long she can stay, though, because her brother decided to text just now, and he wants to shoot off fireworks with her. Yay, family. Yay. Hi, Laura. So lovely to see you. If you are interested in joining the fun and the productivity, there is a link to the StreamYard on the flip side. If you are on my Discord server, I think you are. Unless you're streaming right now and I don't know it, in which case I'm sorry, and we'll just hop over there. Streamception. But now that we have laid out the foundation, I guess we could say who we are and what the hell it is we do.
I did that thing where I take over for a second and get everything off the rails.
Well, most of the time my audience knows exactly who we are, Oh, not streaming today. Okay, no problem. Well, we're looking at being productive today. So it'll be 10 minutes or less with chatty thingies. Oh, would need to get more presentable. Well, to hell with that.
Hi, Jennifer. Y'all, but my more presentable is putting actual clothes on as opposed to a bathrobe.
I have a shirt on.
That is exactly as far.
And my hair is in a bun.
Yeah. That is what it takes to be presentable, unless I'm doing an actual function. Last weekend, I was in that convention as a panelist, so I made myself look respectable then. And then next weekend, I've got a NaNoWriMo event. The 100 hours of writing is next weekend, and I'm going to be doing a couple of those streams. So I'm all right, I guess I got to do hair and makeup for that too. But other than that, it's clothes and hair somehow contained.
And not looking stringy. Yeah. So while we are looking to let's see, who am I? I write urban fantasy / supernatural horror. I am also a witch, and I am also a graphic designer, photographer, artist, etc. So sometimes I combine all those things. It is usually often the same project that I do that. If you are interested in videos on marketing, I have them on the topic on my channel, which you are also on. I have a playlist and everything. You should drop by sometime. I'm sure you will gain some knowledge, and also you deal with my shining personality on video. Chloe, if you would like to introduce yourself.
I am Chloe Alice Balkin, and I write mostly paranormal romance, but also other forms of romance. So Sako, I feel like the two of us cancel each other out for like whether a camping trip would be horror or like porn. This came up in a conversation today that like a writer's retreat out in the woods could turn into like a horror thing, and I was like, well, it depends on who you get there.
Depends on who like, you're with.
It's not about whether there are monsters out there. It's whether your monsters go bump in the night or go bow chicka bow wow in the night. And those are the monsters I write. So I feel like between me and Sako, we just have like a normal writer's retreat.
I think we'd have a normal writer's retreat.
Yeah. Or like
I'd be the one smoking out on the front or back porch. Ow.
Right. I was gonna say, like, not normal, but not that kind of weird.
Not that kind of weird.
No.
All right.
Anyways, yeah, I write paranormal romance and a couple other categories of romance. And I also write short erotica. And yeah, I guess that's like all I've got right now.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
She's also half of the duo Word Stitch.
Thank you. I do have other stuff, and I'm just forgetting about it. And I stream. So I stream on Word Stitch, and I also stream on Twitch as Chloe Alice Balkin.
That is also true.
Yes.
I also have a Twitch channel at Sako. I am still figuring out
stream, right?
Huh?
You do not cross stream, right? Like we're not currently on Twitch.
I used to, but I'm slowly trying to become an affiliate, and they don't like it when you cross stream.
Oh, I got affiliate as a cross stream. But like I also do weird stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I did it because again I was like hosting those convention panels.
Oh.
So I was getting like 20, 30 viewers per stream. So, but it is hard to get there because it's a lot harder to get my YouTube people to watch me on Twitch if I'm also on YouTube.
Well, I'm looking for like a separate audience on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm not butthurt when my YouTube people don't come over.
You do like World Anvil and stuff like that?
You know, oddly enough, I don't. I did toy around with the site for a little while, but I'm pretty comfortable with my world building. Why do you ask?
There's just a community, you know, like how we have our author tubers. Twitch has their own author community that if you do the World Anvil stuff, I don't. Just like AuthorTube, I randomly stumbled upon the Twitch community, but and then like with the convention and all of that, like I was already getting quite a few people from there. And then with the convention, I got a bunch more people. So I'm at like, I'm over 100 followers now. But it's an easy way of getting into that group. If I had known, I would have encouraged you. Right now they're doing this
like week-long promptathon sort of like thing?
Well, there's that. There's like, so like right now is World Anvil summer camp, but also something they organize through World Anvil is they call it Game of Tomes. And so it's going on right now, and I'm really confused by it, so I've never joined it.
Okay.
I don't think it's actually that difficult to do. I just I read the directions and I was like, I don't know what's going on, so I'm not going to do this. But they have it is like you declare a house, and then if you watch their streams and you report your word count that you get during those streams, that goes toward your house. And like as the month goes on, houses get eliminated and they become part of the undead. And then like the final week ends up being a battle between like the final house and the undead. And there are like, mercenaries and stuff. So I don't know if like you watch Twitch streams at all. I'm gonna find this.
I'm not subscribed to enough writers on Twitch. I think I'm gonna start dancing on Twitch like once a week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be, and I do art on Twitch. So I kind of come at it from a different perspective.
I'm gonna go ahead though and look up during our first sprint. They've got like a whole calendar of like all of their streams that they're doing, just like Devin does for us. Mm-hmm. They've got a whole calendar for it, and they're also really good at like if you kind of start participating in the group and then be like, hey, I could really use some more follows, they will absolutely start dumping raids on you.
Cool.
Yeah. I built things the like dumb way of like fighting for every single follower, and then as soon as I hit all the followers I needed, it was like, we can do this for you, and I was like, oh, I'm already there like an idiot.
Like an idiot. Yeah, if I wanted to be a writer on Twitch, it'd be one thing, but like I think my Twitch is going to be like dancing and art.
Okay.
I am, however, on the lookout for writers on Twitch just because, like YouTube is now full of people I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm not necessarily like willing to get to know people who are, for lack of a better word, bland.
That's fair.
So
yeah, Twitch, I'll give you that calendar, and then that way you can at least like check out some people's streams and see if there's anyone that you want to add to your.
That's great. Yeah, you want to pop that? If you want to pop that to me in some manner, like that'd be rad. Let's do a sprint because it has been 15 minutes and oops. Let us. I do have my screen already shared, I swear. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, let's sprint. All right.
So, like, 2 doors down, technically it's a big empty field, but like us and then the empty trees, not even field, and then the next house is doing fireworks. And the last one, there was a firework and then there was a bit of screaming. Yeah. And like at first it was only one like maybe 3 second scream and then nothing. And I was like, all right, that was probably just really weird timing. And
or maybe
then like,
maybe it fell
later, there was
over and
a scream. Yes. I'm like, I don't know them. The way that our houses are, they're really not on our road. Their property is just on the corner, and like it's a weird lot, and they certainly face the other way. So like we don't interact with them in any way. They're not like part of the neighborhood, because that's the other thing, is they're on like the main road, whereas we're in the neighborhood itself. So we don't interact with them at all to like make me, want to go make sure everything's okay. But also like, what was that? Yeah. Also, I brought the catnip in here.
Yay.
And like sprinkled some next to the cat. Oh my God. Okay, so I sprinkled some next to the cat. And I took a little bit of it away because it looked like too much. And he kind of glared at me like, how dare I do that? But then he like poked it a couple of times and was clearly not happy about it just being on the blanket in front of him. So I put it on a coaster, so it wasn't like, so it was on like a cleaner surface. Do you see the corner of the coaster right here? Do you see that he has like now nested himself on this coaster? This coaster is now his coaster.
It is now his coaster.
Yes. Which hopefully it's a security coaster.
Speaking of security coasters, Claude has popped in and is wondering if Chloe is the first cat rider. Probably not the first, but definitely not the last.
Among them.
Definitely among them. Spence just hopped in, running through with a like before making her way to an early bed, which she totally deserves because
yes.
Indeed. Devin says that Chloe's cat is very entertaining. Rosalind popped in saying that I am her favorite Loudoun County witch, which is funny because I'm not in Loudoun. But that's okay. I used to go there all the time because my friend lived there, my bestie, but she's moved to Manassas, so we're both in Prince William. Hey, Eddie Lane, good to see you. Sorry, I was making a bad joke. I graduated from Manassas. Oh, right on.
Laura, I don't know how things are in Canada in general, but like we have fireworks all summer long in the United States. Like people just do it, not even just in the summer. It'll be like February. There will be nothing going on, and some idiot will be setting off like fireworks that they forgot about at New Year's. So
here too.
Yeah.
Only the rest of the year, it's like, is that a gunshot or a firework? Our favorite game.
Yeah, that is our favorite game when we do 4th of July in Decatur, and in Decatur, which is a section of Atlanta. Decatur, it's a trick question because it's always gunshots. Yeah.
Richmond is that way too.
Oh yeah.
Especially in South Richmond. bullet journaled and read some more of the fantasy fiction formula, which is good stuff. I need to purchase this book. I seriously do. Yeah, seriously, like Canada Day or something to that effect. Cat is unresponsive to catnip, which is sad because I would have appreciated the entertainment. Sometimes they get wired, and sometimes they just like mellow the hell out.
Mm-hmm. There's also different varieties of catnip that
there are.
Just like people with drugs, cats, depending on the cat, reacts different ways to different strains of catnip. He just mellows out, which is why I'm giving it to him right now because he's sick. So like this keeps him from whining about his butthole. So, but like I also, one of the houses that I lived in growing up, we had loft stairs. You know, the stairs that like don't have the frame around them.
Right.
And when we first moved in to calm one of our cats, calm them all, I guess, my mom got a bunch of like catnip toys. And one of the cats busted the catnip toy open underneath the stair. And for the 3 years that we lived in that house after that, you couldn't step on the first step if you valued your foot because you didn't know if there was a cat hiding under that step ready to kill your foot as soon as you stepped on it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Canada apparently has plenty of idiots as well. This Canada Day, I heard, was very reflective because of the Indigenous kids who did not make it home and those who also survived the Catholic Church, from what I understand. Which is why you were supposed to wear, orange on the 4th of July here in the US because it's a problem here too. But I couldn't find my orange shirt, which is a Cub Scouts shirt. So I didn't take my own advice.
I don't own orange, but also like I didn't leave the house. I literally left the house.
I didn't leave the house either.
To drop off a library book, which of course the library was closed. So I like got just dressed enough to go to the car and then to the drop box and then come home.
So aerials are illegal in Virginia.
But they're happening.
But they're happening. I can see them from my kitchen window.
So I'm from Delaware. I lived most of my life in Delaware. I was there for 25 years. But so Delaware, where I was at least in Delaware, no matter where you were, there was a big fireworks display going off nearby because all of the beaches had them. And then Delaware is set up very much like all of the towns in Delaware are set up 7 miles apart exactly because they were built around train stations. So every single one of those towns has their own little thing or big thing as well, depending on where they are. So like there really wasn't a need for people to set off fireworks there. And I can remember like at the beach, they would have to stagger and have fireworks on different days because the beaches were so close that like every single day, no matter what beach you lived on, every single day for like 4 days, you could see fireworks from one direction or another.
Right. I can basically look in my backyard or my front yard and I will find aerials tonight. But what did Delaware? Dad joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today, Claude ordered Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere. Can't wait to read it. I've never read his work. I like Ocean at the End of the Lane. And I'm a big fan of the Sandman series, which was a graphic novel series by Vertigo Comics, which is a sub thing. Oh, I guess we're supposed to be doing a sprint.
This just lives next to my desk. It is the graphic novel for American Gods.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We will discuss more on Neil Gaiman's work after the sprint.
Yes.
So let us get back to work.
selling physical products is not the best way of making money on Amazon in 2021. Now, yes, that model does work, but my twin brother and I,
I'm
Christian,
so sorry.
we
There are
discovered a
ads.
new and
Hold on.
improved way of using Amazon to make money.
What is going on right now? And is it me? Oh my God, I am sure it's me.
Holy shit. No, it was an ad on my timer. Thanks, Thanks, YouTube. I'm not even monetized.
So right before the timer went off, probably like 10 seconds before that, Chonk, like any cat, is fairly silent when he moves. But also, he's always a little bit congested. So what'll happen is I'll have no idea that he is suddenly next to me. And then I'll just hear this. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? Oh, it's him directly behind me. He wants attention because he's freaking out, but also he doesn't want to be touched because of his medical malady right now. So we're at a stalemate because he's like, love me, but like, don't you fucking touch me.
I want your attention.
Yeah. Give me attention, but like nothing.
I see that face. That face says, give me attention, babe.
Yeah. It's okay. I've got shiny. Yeah. This is how he's going to get attention for now. It is metallic and it is also ribbon, and it is his two favorite things.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Will he try to eat it? Absolutely. But, or just like get it stuck on his claw. So now we are attached forever. Anyways, how did you do during that sprint?
Actually, really good. I got the document up to 40K. So for day 4, I'm feeling awesome.
Oh, wow. What are you working on?
Working on the 3rd draft of Flambeau.
Awesome.
So I'm hoping this is the last draft. There might be copy edits. I don't know.
There's always going to be something, especially with if you're doing like full on drafts. I don't know. Every single time I do an edit, I end up creating more grammatical errors.
Oh,
like you don't delete things properly, or like you end up with like a word that's the wrong tense because the sentence changed just enough, or all kinds of little things. A punctuation thing might happen. So I end up in the editing phase. I always end up actually adding more proofreading errors. I get rid of some, but then I also create some.
I follow. I have a feeling that's going to be the case with this draft because half of it is draft 2 and then half of it is going to be new content. So I'm just filling in the outline with content that's already been written.
But honestly, once you get past the developmental edits, all the rest is just fine-tuning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Jace Maxwell was our editor for draft 2.
Awesome.
So we got some stellar feedback from him.
It's nice having an editor that you have like a really open line of communication with.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of times with professional editors, you kind of get like a whole pile of notes that you have to work through, and then you can communicate with them, but it's not like, it's like email swaps, and it's hard to like get everything out there easily every time. So it's nice when it's somebody that you just communicate with regularly.
Yeah.
Because then even like a week later, you think of something and you're like, oh, hey, this thing.
Hey, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. Pardon my my ice cream eating. Claude says 544 words. Scene 6 is already super, super awesome. I don't count my scenes, which maybe at some juncture I should do that.
I outline everything, and of course, like, you know, with novel writing software, your outline is like broken down by scenes. So I get a good idea of how many scenes. Like, I know how many chapters the thing is going to be because they'll probably be numbered, and then I know that each chapter is roughly 2 scenes. So I can generally give a ballpark about how many scenes that I have just based on where I am in it.
Commercial break. No. Laura says 264 words and read a few pages, which is awesome. Anyone have any tips for revising first-person narrative into third-person omniscient? I had to do this recently with my Anchor series. What kind of tips can I give? Literally rewriting the story.
Yeah.
I would have the story open in one window, like the previous edition. And then as I kind of use it like an outline or inspiration for the new scene. But I pan the camera back so they get a wider view of what's going down.
Yeah, I would like, so I've never done that before because I don't write omniscient.
I write close.
Because I write romance. Most people don't want to read third person omniscient with romance, especially in the subgenres that I write in. Like, there is some out there, but like, even when I see it, because like Nora Roberts, I read Nora Roberts and she writes omniscient. And like, the longer I read other stuff, the more I'm like, why is she doing this? This is weird. But coming from the perspective of like having changed the perspective of a scene from one person to another, whether I'm going from first to third or just changing it from the hero to the heroine, or whichever way it's going.
Sure.
Yes, that's exactly what I do as well. Is the scene that I am doing that with, usually it wouldn't be the entire story. It would just be a scene or a chapter. I will read that entire scene and I will leave it open and I will get an entirely new document. Or if I am writing in Scrivener, do the side by side and just completely write it over. I might directly transfer dialogue because the conversation should presumably be the exact same, but everything else I will rewrite, not just to prevent accidentally, well, you wouldn't have to worry about head hopping because you're going omniscient, but I feel like if you were going from first to third omniscient, that if you don't do a complete rewrite on it, that you're never going to get enough outside perspective and it's always going to be too close.
Precisely.
Yeah. Unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, it's going to call for
and I feel like at some point we've all changed the perspective before and had to do something similar. We've all been there. We've all had to do those complete rewrites.
Devin says offers Jace's editing company, who he teams up with Meadow Lamoureux. Jace does the developmental stuff while Meadow does the minutia, and they make a bang up team. So I strongly recommend, and they're extremely affordable considering the market.
Yeah.
So I can strongly recommend them, as I have worked with them firsthand. What audible book should I be listening to in the third person? I don't read a lot of books in third person per se. I just read You Were Made for This, which was third person. Oh, of course, it's doing the things. Of course, it's doing the things.
We'll come back to this.
We'll come back to this after the next sprint. Yes. Okay, the 10-minute counter is running. That was a good sprint for me.
I don't know if this is going to work or not, but somehow, can we? Oh God!
Oh God!
You can see where this is going. Somehow, this is his. Oh God, my cord's tangled. Is actually why this isn't working. This is his reaction to "Oh God, help me" from the fireworks. He's freaking out.
My cats are stressing hardcore right now.
Oh, life is hard. Life is so hard right now. Also, he went psycho kill mode on me because I stopped playing with him to write. And and then I had to take the string away from him because he chewed off a piece of it when, he's having intestinal issues. Perfect. Let's add tinsel to the problem. So I got a new toy, and then the fireworks got out of control, and this is how we ended up.
Yep. It is strangely quiet at the moment.
It is not even a little bit quiet here.
Yeah, we can hear it. We can hear it.
Oh, can you? I did get work done though. I finished up that story that I was supposed to finish this morning. That was supposed to take me an hour this morning. And then I cheated slightly on my World Anvil and used something that I had already kind of, World Anvil is kind of like making a Wikipedia for your story. Right. So I'm building mine off of my Alien series, which I've already gotten 2 books written for. And there is a scene where one of the characters asks the onboard computer about one of the other characters about his race because he's an alien. And so I have already this whole encyclopedia entry right there for his race. And I was like, I think this is going to go on World Anvil, just like this, just like any of your dialogue in between.
Yeah. So before we went on break, Eddie Lane asked what Audible book she should be listening to in the third-person style. Neil Gaiman works in third person. So anything by him is kosher. I like Ocean at the End of the Lane, which is a short. That's a novella sort of situation. American Gods is good. So I was mad at the ending. And Neverwhere is good. Claude was just mentioning he just bought Neverwhere.
And I was mad about the show being canceled because I was like, maybe they'll do the ending better. And I know that a lot of people, their least favorite part of American Gods was Lakeview, right? That's the name of the town, the Wisconsin town that he ends up in for the winter. But it was my favorite part. So yeah, I loved that whole weird random side story in the middle of it. So
I loved it. That's my favorite part when he basically goes to Baba Yaga and Chernobog and all of them that was my favorite part. The whole Russian pantheon, doing their thing, and I was like,
for me, my favorite part was the whole crazy side story about the tradition of sinking the cars in the lake,
right?
And where that ends up going, of course. So yeah, I was really bummed about, and yes, I also had issues with the ending of it. So I was really hoping that with this series, since they did take quite a few liberties with the series, that we would end up with
a better ending,
potentially better ending.
Yeah.
Or an ending so much worse that we could be like, well, I guess this was the right ending.
I guess this was the proper ending. I guess.
One or the other.
So Eddie mentions that this is a sci-fi multi-character action. So I think third person omniscient is probably, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think that's probably standard for it. And unfortunately, the sci-fi that I've read recently has been really weird. I don't even remember. I don't actually remember. I know it was in third person, but I don't remember if it was if it was omniscient or limited. But yeah, so I don't have a good suggestion in that genre because the last thing I read was just like a really bonkers series.
Really bonkers. Kelly Reese popped in. I think you might be new to my channel, but welcome. We're looking at getting some writing done. So if we have like long bouts of time on the clock where we are writing quietly on our own, and then, we take 10-minute breaks in between just to chat about what we wrote and to talk to the chat. That is the deal. You remember that scene I was having trouble with that I mentioned in Morgan's stream earlier? I think I fixed it. I went into third-person POV for that scene, and I'm loving it. I am so glad. Holy cow. Oh God, I can't even remember her name now. There's this Italian role player who became a writer, and her work is all RP. Like, she writes chain stories with her fellow players, and she basically deletes if she gets like caught in a place where she can't move forward. She just hits the delete button until she feels like writing again.
Okay.
And like, that is profound. Like, I'm like, there's a couple of spots in the in Flambeau where I just need to delete until a new scene presents itself.
I've done it before, but it hurts, and I don't like to do it, and I certainly don't consider it to be the like go-to method.
It looks like Laura just watched the 4th of July fireworks at Disney World through YouTube, which is super awesome. I bet Disney World does an amazing show.
They do. Yeah. I've been there for New Year's, I think, was what I saw. But like, they do amazing fireworks every single night there. So
Tessa Dean popped in. Hello, darling. Whoa, jump. Kitty Cat says, please pity me, please. I've never actually seen Catnip. Do you have some you could show me? I am effing around with my characters in a new project.
This gigantic container that I have of it.
It is massive.
It was like $4 from Aldi, because that's how Aldi is. I don't know where he's wandered off somewhere because he got mad that like playing went like the way it did. So I don't know where he is now, but hopefully he's okay wherever he is.
I love being mean to my characters. Like, if I get stuck, I think, what is the worst possible thing that can happen? And then I do that thing.
Yeah. I wish I could be meaner to my characters. Like, I don't mean to go easy on them. I just do because I suck at writing fight scenes. So
I love writing fight scenes. So if you ever want to do a collab together, I love writing fight scenes. I love writing fight scenes. Laura worked on American Gods season 2.
Oh, nice. Oh, there he is. Hey, buddy. You come in.
Oh my gosh, 20 seconds till the next sprint. Oh, but some of the scenes were filmed in Devin's hometown. And Kelly thanks me for breaking down the things that are going on. I had to stoop by before bed. Hi. Okay, yeah, soon. Soon we shall do the things. I just want to catch up real quick. Middle grade Eddie Dickens books are omniscient and hilarious. Not adult sci-fi, but they're all I can think of that are omniscient. Hi, HK. Good night.
You don't really see a lot of omniscient anymore, which isn't meaning that you shouldn't write it. It's just not as common as it used to be.
Yeah. Decided one of the POV characters is a twin. Cool.
Nice.
All right. We got 30 seconds in, but let us do this.
Sprint.
Let us do this sprint. Okay, that was supposedly our last sprint? Question mark. We have technically hit the 2-hour mark. So I vote that we just like chit chat for until we get tired of it. And
I agree.
All right, sounds awesome. I hope it was productive for you.
Yeah, I got 2 things done. I would have like really so like obviously I cheated on one of them. But it was a box checked and it was something that was going to happen eventually anyways. I did also want to get a scene written in my Vela project, and that I got like 200 words in that last sprint, and that was it. But it's at least started for tomorrow.
Cool.
And my erotic short ended up being an erotic long. So it ended up being like usually these things are around 1,500. And this one ended up being 3,300. And I don't think there's any reason for it to be that long, but that's okay.
There's nothing wrong with the 3,300.
No, there's not. It's just like for what it is in comparison to my other stuff, there wasn't enough plot or action to warrant it taking 2,500 words to get to the action.
Oh, I got you.
It was a lot of dialogue. It was fun dialogue. It just wasn't. Yeah. It could have gotten to the action a lot sooner. but it's done. It's one more. It might actually be my 100th. I am right around 100 at this point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool. I lost my Vela project when I lost my computer. I'm on a new computer now. And it wounds me. It wounds me.
Like it was saved to your hard drive and not in the cloud, so it's gone.
And the hard drive went tits up because too much data got put on it when I did my graphic design stuff.
And there's no way to recover that stuff?
Possibly if I take it into Apple and have them do their magic to it. But I don't know how much that would cost.
Yeah. How far along were you?
10 out of 18.
That hurts a lot.
That hurts.
Yeah. This was my 98th short piece. So
oh wow,
almost at 100.
Damn.
100 should have happened like mid-May if I had actually done my 100 stories in 100 days. And then like my entire life fell apart in April. So.
Yeah.
So it didn't happen, but I'm almost there. And I'm like, I feel pretty good about this. Also, you see that like dead.
Yeah.
He was in kill mode and now sleepy time.
Now it's sleepy time.
Devin, I'm sorry you're having so many fireworks. We
10 nights in a row last year.
We are on day 5, I would say here. But yeah, I guess since you're in Canada, it starts earlier, and like since we're doing it, y'all may as well keep on doing it.
Yeah,
that would be a very American thing to do. So if it is also a Canadian thing to do, I'm not judging you. Like, they're blowing shit up, so we're gonna blow shit up too.
Indeed. Courtney Created popped in. Hello.
Hello, Courtney.
Joining in the last minute. You can join in for the chatty bits. And then, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, I'll put a cork in it and we can do silly things like sleep. Laura is editing a vlog now, which is awesome. Tessa was trying to set up the next part in her story in her blog, but WordPress was not cooperating. I find that WordPress often does not cooperate because it's Java.
Yeah. I had someone contact me the other day about like just a little dumb typo that I had on it, not complaining that they were telling me that there was a typo, but like it was a dumb typo. And they were like, also when I tried to contact you through the like link to email, that link was dead. And it turned out that WordPress just spawned the link incorrectly. And it was, where you fill out the form and you give them the email and it's supposed to be mailed to : and then your email address. For some reason, WordPress just didn't spawn the : in there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Thanks, WordPress.
So Jennifer was wondering, how do you submit things to Medium?
So with Medium, I don't know if submitting is the right word because you can, but it's not to a Medium. You might just do other publications. But basically how Medium works is that as a writer, you set up your account and you join their partner program. And then you just post stories. You post them just like you would a blog on WordPress. But you can set up a publication, and publications tend to get better views than if you're just posting them to like your name. So I've got like, if you go to my page, Chloe Alice Balkan, everything is there. But if you go to Chloe's Little Ditties is my publication, I've got most of my stories there. And then you can also submit to other people's publications.
Cool.
But to just like start using WordPress, Medium, you just have to sign up for their partner program and get like, they pay out through Stripe. So you have to sign up for Stripe, which is easy. They just need like the same stuff that any other payment service would need. And then you just post.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Also, that cat is totally hungover.
Yeah.
Yay, it's Jillian. Yay, a live stream. Even though it's the tail end of one.
It is, yes.
Yeah. Still chipping away at those book discussion scheme notes. Also, how rude of WordPress. I know, right?
WordPress is a hot mess.
WordPress is a hot mess. And
if I actually cared about my website, I would not be using WordPress, but it's one of those things that I know I will never be able to keep up with on my own. So it's not worth it to do anything more complicated than WordPress.
Yeah. Oh, and Jillian can join me on the replay, which is awesome because we were really productive today.
Yes.
So I was quite militant about the clock. So yeah, you can totally watch the replay and enjoy in that regard. Oh my goodness. I ate ice cream last sprint and I'm suffering for it now.
I cannot eat ice cream thanks to lactose intolerance.
I have lactose sensitivity, I guess.
That's fair.
So like sometimes my belly will be like, you have had too many things. And or it'll be the temperature of whatever the lactose was, just sitting in my stomach the way it was. And I'm like,
yeah. For me, as long as it has been cooked or like fermented like cheese, I'm fine with it. I have absolutely no problems. I can eat cheese all day long. And other than like cheese not being great for your system to begin with, I'm totally fine with it. Obviously in like baked goods, even in desserts that are cooked, like a creme brulee, I have no problems with, but any sort of uncooked, like straight up milk, like milk and cereal, or like putting milk in my coffee, or ice cream, or absolutely the biggest nightmare in my life, milkshakes destroy me and I want to die for hours after I have a milkshake.
oh.
Yeah.
I did.
But if I had to choose between milkshakes and cheese, I'd rather have cheese.
Yeah, I'll agree. Devin says no one else is streaming for the next couple of hours. So,
it's a weird day with it being a holiday weekend in the States.
Yeah.
I know with like the people that I follow on Twitch, they're all quiet as well tonight. So
that's really interesting. So if I don't know, we might get squirrely and do another sprint. That
I'm down for that.
That could possibly happen. I do feel like taking a little bit of a break that is maybe a little longer than 10 minutes, because we just worked pretty hardcore for like 2 hours.
I actually got work done.
Me too. 40K. Yeah. 40K on day 4.
It actually was, but I did get. So I'm doing for Nano. Are you actually doing Nano counts this month?
How do you mean?
Well, because we're in a Camp Nano right now.
I set my goal for 30K, and then when I made that on like day 2, I decided I would work for 50K. So
which you're already almost there.
Which I'm already almost there. I'm like 80% there.
But so I've got 2-3 projects going on right now, right? So I've decided that to keep the insanity from like getting out of control about trying to track things, that I would only add them to my count if I hit the end of whatever. So if I finished a scene, or I finished a short, or I finished a World Anvil page, then I would then tally that count. And so I got 2 things tallied today, and it doesn't matter when I actually wrote those 4,000 words. I wrote those 4,000 words.
Yes. Jillian arrived at Sister's house last night to discover she was hosting a 4th of July party. Jillian is not in the States, so I think it's kind of interesting that her sister was hosting a 4th of July party in New Zealand.
I mean, who does shit like that, though, right? I have had some of the dumbest. I have absolutely had a Bastille Day party, like just because we needed a reason to have a party. I get it.
And then Devin recommends impromptu karaoke, which I would not put that upon Chloe.
There's only one song that I can do karaoke for, and it is too obscure at this point for it to actually work anymore.
Hey, there is no like, there are no fences on YouTube karaoke.
It just shows my age far too much now.
Oh, I see. We have corn dogs, corn chips, what's Quest? Queso, you mean? Salsa.
I'm going to say queso on that, yes.
Macaroni and cheese, waffles, fried chicken with apple pie, Oreos, and ice cream for dessert. That is quite American.
Yeah, all of that is American. I mean, the fact that like 3 items on that list are clearly Hispanic just shows how American it is. Americans love tortillas and queso and salsa.
Oftentimes in the same bowl. just throw all 3 of those in the delicious. Yeah, it was queso. Yeah, deduction.
For a second there, I thought it was going to be some weird Australian or New Zealand thing, and be like, well, let's get a translation and see if that's actually something of ours. But no.
I would love to see the Indonesian take on Mexican food.
Yeah. That's
really fascinating to me. I have no way of judging food authentically. Yeah, there's no way.
American cuisine is that like everything.
It's such a hodgepodge of
other ethnicities.
Yeah. Pizza, for instance, is,
yeah,
you know, an American invention, but certainly influenced by Italians.
Like, if we are talking about going out to dinner, the term American never even comes up. The closest that I would say would be American would be like if we're going to the diner.
TGI Fridays.
We wouldn't go there. Like, if we go out to eat, we go for sushi or Chinese or Italian or Mexican or the fusion. What is tsunami? It's like Southwest Chinese fusion. Yes, it's Chinese tacos.
Cool. One of the best things I ever had was a Korean taco off of a DC food truck. It was Korean.
For dessert, we normally go for Korean because we've got Korean bakeries here or Mexican bakeries.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's super awesome. Oh, the Japanese take on American food is sad.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. Like on Guam, like all I wanted was a hamburger. After like a month, I craved meat. I needed a hamburger. And it was the saddest hamburger I'd ever had.
What was wrong with it? Like, what do they, because like I
they import
this ground beef.
So there are no cows on Guam.
Oh, on Guam. Okay, got it. I know that there are cows in Japan.
There are cows in Japan. It is not cheap eating.
Mm-mm.
They are much nicer to their cows for one. It was actually a lot of fun, and it was fun to watch my American coworkers' reactions to it.
I mean, like, from that list that you gave, the only things that I could see going terribly wrong would be the mac and cheese and the apple pie. Everything else, like there's not really a whole lot you can mess up. So I feel like you did like a real safe list there.
You did a really safe list.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like telling my Chinese students we have chicken avocado sushi. The California roll is also quite American. The Philly roll, also, like, cream cheese should be nowhere near sushi, in my opinion. I am super not into cream cheese anywhere near my sushi.
I agree. I find it weird.
It's
a lot of what we eat of Asian cuisine is very Americanized.
It can be.
Yeah.
Chinese food, for instance, has been Americanized like whoa.
One of my best friends here in Atlanta is from China. So we'll occasionally go to the restaurants where like he has to order for me because there's not even like nobody speaks English there and there's no menu English on it. He tells me that it's always a struggle to explain to them that I am vegetarian, but I do eat fish. Like it blows their minds. They don't, like, they have issues enough with vegetarian and then like, oh, but the fish is fine. But yeah, it is nothing like Chinese food that
it's nothing like Chinese
that we would be getting,
especially depending on where in China he's from and what kind of food he's getting, right?
Yeah.
So like Szechuan, or you're going north, or I don't know. Yeah, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Devin has never had sushi. If you ever come to the States and you come to the DC metro area, I will take you to good sushi.
Some of it is cooked. If you're scared of raw fish.
If you're scared of raw fish, a lot of it is either it's cooked or it's made from raw ingredients that are not animal based.
Sometimes they're completely fried. Like they are battered and fried.
Sometimes
America.
Like the tempura, tempura sushi,
Mm-hmm.
So
and then like of course anything that's got shellfish in it has to be cooked.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing that I have put in my mouth and spit out immediately. Actually, I didn't spit it out. I actually ate it, but I vowed I would never eat it ever again. Was raw sewer urchin.
Oh, I don't think I've ever had that.
Like
I can't
sea
do
urchin.
octopus.
I called it sewer urchin, but it's sea urchin.
Yeah.
The consistency is just like, plus the taste and the. I can't, when it's raw. I can't do it.
Octopus is like a boot. It's like
octopus like chewing on a boot.
And then like if you get baby octopus, it's a full-on octopus with like it is actually like an octopus.
It is a full octopus.
It's terrifying. And then they jam the ball of rice to their heads and wrap the seaweed around it. Like I can't condone this. This is terrible.
I've never.
Oh, have you never seen it prepared as sashimi?
I've only ever had it as sashimi.
Okay.
So like sometimes it'll be on rice and sometimes it'll just be by itself. Oh yeah, go to San Francisco too. Good sushi there, good Japanese food. Also good systems for managing the bill, and yeah, it's good stuff. My first week in Japan, I even got squid on a stick as a snack. Yep. Yep. It's on my bucket list, RL. Either to go to San Francisco or to go to DC, like maybe both of those things. It was educational. I really enjoy squid now. Yeah. I like it cooked. Even if it's just like cooked with citrus, like you can use lemon juice to cook seafood.
Is that the right stuff?
Ceviche.
Ceviche, thank you, ceviche. Like it is those letters, but I don't think that's the right item.
French fry sushi. That's that. I don't see why you wouldn't do that, but why? Both. I would be DC and DC. You would be I don't understand the first DC.
Devin Cutting.
Oh, I would be Devin Cutting in the District of Columbia. Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
It was a solid joke.
Yeah. All right. It is 11 o'clock. How do we feel? Do we feel like wrapping up or do we feel like doing another sprint?
I am okay to do one more sprint and then wrapping up.
And then wrapping up after that.
Okay.
Okay. You guys are in luck. Oop. We shall do another sprint. Woo! One more sprint because we're feeling ambitious.
Because it's 4th of July. Woo!
Because it's 4th of July. Woo! And now that the booming has stopped, I say that and it goes boom, boom, boom. Right. Okay. Sure. Yeah. All right. So let us sprint in 3, 2, 1.
You are muted.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like if I don't say that at least once in any given stream, then it's not really a stream.
I'm by IKEA, which is in Prince William County.
I like that y'all also use IKEA as a landmark because I do it all the time in Atlanta.
It's right next to the mall. It's like super close. Yay, Umbrelta, Umbrelta, I think. Saw this coming up, but glad to have someone to work with. Really, we did one last sprint just to be productive even more, and we'll chat a little bit, and then we'll probably call it a night because we're coming up on 3 hours.
Yeah, yeah, we did good this time.
We Hills, yes. My favorite sushi place is actually trying to remember the name of it.
No.
It's where Tokyo Japanese Steakhouse used to be. Their sushi is top notch. Like, it is really good sushi. So it's not Sakura, but it's something similar. I can't remember. Frielta. Okay, I see.
I feel like when you ask me where to go for sushi, like there needs to be a lot more questions about like
what kind of sushi you want.
Right. Yeah. Are you gonna want to get some like teriyaki with it? Are you maybe gonna want to get some like lo mein with it? Are you looking for like buffet? Are you looking for like the $12 buffet or the $35 buffet? Are you looking for like the like carousel style where you grab the
yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. Savvy's live stream has been great for introducing me to more writers. That's awesome. I'm thrilled.
And y'all are following Devin, right?
I hope you're following Devin.
Daily lists of everybody who is streaming. And Devin is incredible about getting most of my streams that I schedule like 17 seconds before I go live onto the calendar. I don't know how Devin manages it.
Notifications.
Yeah, like
notifications
I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I'm gonna stream in 20 minutes. Let's do it. Like, I still get people. Thank you.
I did that today. I was like, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
If there is more stuff, it's a half an hour until midnight, which means a whole new list will be a thing. When I picked an Irish screen name, I thought it was so cool, and now I talk on live streams and no one can pronounce it. Yeah. Which is one of the reasons why I go by Sako as opposed to Fusako. It's just easier for American tongues to deal with Sako.
There are a lot of people who watch my streams that I just have like given nicknames to because I'm like, I don't know how to pronounce that, and I feel like every single time I am messing it up. So I'm just going to say this instead. But usually it goes over well because I'm like, this is what I'm calling you now, and I hope you like it. I love that.
The hero
village.
Walk and roll. My favorite. No, I wouldn't say it's my favorite. It's the closest pho joint to my place is Walk and Pho. Nice. Which is, you know what, for not wanting to eat at home and not wanting to drive all the way out to Arlington for actual pho. It doesn't suck. It's
I like
not,
that it's
not the
becoming
worst.
more commonplace now. Like I feel
Is it in DC? It's always been a thing.
Atlanta, I can get some form of a noodle bowl, like most areas I go to, whether it's a pho place or a ramen place, or like, we just shove the two together because Americans just want soup with noodles in it. There tends to be quite a few places I can go to now. It's a little weird for me because, again, vegetarian, so like the broth becomes a challenge for me. But yeah, we have a lot of places around here that have some form of noodle bowl.
Yeah, Devin has the YouTube app on his phone, so and like the personalization for ringing the bell, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the 30 minutes until, and also while it's going, and also while it's going again. Oh my gosh, tough.
Yeah, that's a new one for me. And I am terrible at guessing most of the time.
Yeah.
I bet it's totally a name that we know, though.
Or tough? I don't know. It's pronounced Thai.
Oh, I like that. Tig. I like that.
So that becomes the question, is it Tiger or is it Tiger?
Oh, so is his name Ty or Tig? Gosh, you never know with all of those letters. all of those letters could be completely meaningless.
All those letters could be completely meaningless. Oh, that's really going to bug me. Hold on. The whole sushi and...
No, the G is absolutely pronounced.
Oh, okay.
I Googled. You got a whole entry on Wikipedia on how to pronounce that.
Sushi Jin. I've never had sushi at Sushi Jin. Sushi Jin is really more of a ramen place.
Misleading name.
Oh, sake. Sake is the name of the sushi joint that is new. Well, new. They went in during the pandemic, or just before the pandemic.
Oh.
And their delivery is like super worth it. Super worth it.
Yeah, I went to get something sweet because we were talking about ice cream and stuff. So I was going to go get something sweet on the last sprint. And instead I ended up with crab rangoon dip, which I haven't had before. It's from Aldi. The flavor is really good, but there is raw celery in it, and the texture is just like way too aggressive for the rest of the dip.
Oh.
Sometimes celery is just like too much. I have nothing against celery, but sometimes that crunch is too much for what it's going into.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Who else is really hungry right now? I stuffed myself full of ice cream. So. Oh. My dad lives in Arlington and my ex lives in Alexandria. So pretty much what I'm talking about. I used to live in Arlington. Well, I used to live at Seven Corners, which means you can put Falls Church or Arlington or Alexandria or one more. You can put the city, whatever city name in front of it, and it'll get to where it's going. I was like right at the intersection. All right, nope. No.
We're not doing that again.
No. I'm just going to close that timer. And there we have it. And Avrilta can like totally go for some noodles. I think tomorrow I might do some pho. Mm-hmm.
Support that.
So, for those who don't know, the country is actually run out of Arlington, Virginia, not DC. I mean, DC has a house full of people, sure, but like the actual running of the country happens in Arlington. And Alexandria is basically like right up against. So a lot of them live in Alexandria and commute to Arlington. I used to go to school there.
Geographically, DC is incredibly small.
Geographically, there is a lot of places that are crammed all together.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially in Northern Virginia, because it's like kind of to a point. So the closer to the point you get, the more places there are.
Yeah.
And they're really more like neighborhoods more than they are like actual towns. They have their own zip codes and everything,
mm-hmm.
but there's a lot of places.
It's like Atlanta. You don't know that you're in a new area until you see the sign saying that you're in Kennesaw and not Marietta. And like we have areas where like we always assume that it is Kennesaw, but actually it is Marietta. And like, I didn't even realize that until like, you try to find the address for a place and like, why does that say Marietta? Oh, it's Marietta. Okay. But yeah, it's a similar thing. But yeah, because DC is so small, you have like all of these old official buildings are in DC, but like the buildings that that they can't, like anything else other than the like original buildings have to be somewhere else.
Yeah. Which is why which is how they gentrified DC.
Yes.
Was a lot of the original housing no longer met code, and so contractors came in and basically said, "Hey, you gotta get out while we fix your house," and they built condos instead. And the family was displaced because it's not like they can go back. So these places where there are generations worth of families, like totally displaced because gentrification.
Yeah.
So they gentrified Woodbridge, which was really, really weird. Like, it made my neighborhood a safer place. But I have like an outdoor mall, like walking distance from my house now. And it's weird.
Yeah, gentrification is, especially in like DC, like it's a bad thing, but also DC so fucking dangerous. So it's bad because it's displacing people, but also it makes the area safer. And like it sucks that you're like trying to find the balance on that, but like all of those areas that people go to DC to see, the worst areas of DC are literally a block away from them.
Unless you're talking about the zoo.
Yes. Yes.
Like gang wars happen at the zoo.
Yeah.
Like Woodley Park is not a nice part of town.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would not
with that.
I would not advise if you go to the DC Zoo. I recommend not talking to anyone and just enjoy the zoo itself, and then get the fuck
go to
out
the Baltimore Aquarium instead.
Baltimore's not that much better.
No, Baltimore is pretty rough too, but
there's like this little dot of the harbor, which is like the tourist trap, right? But you go a block.
Yeah. Just like it's like where it always gets me with DC is the Smithsonian, is in like all of that stuff is the
which
worst.
Is gray. I would call the Smithsonian gray because all the homeless hang out at the Smithsonian because, you know, like they can beg and the tourists will usually give them money. But but it's one of the during the day, it's one of the safer places to be.
Until you go a block away.
Until you go a block outside, which it, you know, like if you want to go to the art gallery like that, then that gets kind of weird.
Yeah. And the thing is that like, so like coming from the Atlanta perspective, like we are also, of course, like every city is going through this whole gentrification thing. And in Atlanta, the areas that they are gentrifying are not like, they are low income, but they are not the bad areas of Atlanta. So it's really bad in Atlanta because these were mostly just like working class people. And it wasn't like the bad part of town is still 100% intact, and they're never going to touch the south side of Atlanta. South side of Atlanta is always going to be
like
nightmare
the Detroit of the Atlanta.
Yeah, they're just like taking back the like lower middle areas and turning those into high-end areas, forcing the lower middle people to also have to go to the south side of Atlanta. So it's all bad here.
It's all bad.
Yeah.
It's really weird here because the Woodbridgeites aren't leaving. They're instead banding together and getting like, so there'll be like 6 to 9 of them like get a condo together. They're converting most of the houses in my neighborhood to condos somehow. Because they're townhouses, right?
Yeah.
So they'll basically make a house out of the top floor, and then they'll make a house out of the basement, and then there's like a communal kitchen living area or whatever in the middle. I think that's how they're doing it. Because otherwise I have no idea.
Right.
There's one way into the house.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? Yeah, so gentrification, super weird.
Yeah.
My neighborhood used to be, we fondly call this area Hoodbridge.
I live not that far from what we fondly call Crackworth. I get it. It's actually Ackworth.
It is a term of endearment.
Yeah.
But a lot of gang activity happened in my neighborhood when I was young. So not actual gang activity, not until MS-13 rolled in, but like cute little blood wannabes, you know, like trying to make trouble, you know. And then the kids that grew up on my street went into law enforcement in some capacity. So, except for me. So my next door neighbor is an FBI cop. My neighbor right across the street from me is he used to be a prison guard, and now he's a actual policeman, like, working the street and stuff like that. Which is, like, now there's hardly any problem.
Yeah.
Also, MS-13 doesn't ship where they eat.
Exactly.
So that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's about bedtime, isn't it?
I think we should wrap up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's finally quiet enough outside to like go to bed.
Like maybe lay down.
Yeah. A little popping, but
If you liked this video at any point, I encourage you to hit the like button. If you would like to see when I do more little pop-ups like this, you can hit the subscribe button, maybe even ring that bell on the off chance that it will tell you when I go live.
Sometimes it does.
Sometimes it does. Otherwise, we will catch you guys on the flip side.